Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
There was a time period in my life when I thought, yeah, I'm a pretty cool cucumber. People like hanging around with me, pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a right assessment of myself. You know?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you for letting me start late.
My pleasure.
I cut you off after you said, you were going to slam me in some way. I was hoping it would wake me up.
No, but you redirected it. You judoed me into...
I'm so tired, Josh. So tired. I came up with a new decision, no stimulant Sunday.
Yeah.
And because I haven't been sleeping since Shavuos of 73. So I had
73?
57, 73. And so no amphetamines yesterday. And I swear, I never realized how tired I was.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired right now.
Did you sleep, though?
Yeah, I think I'm sleeping better. I think I'm a little bit better. Yeah, I'm sleeping better, but I slept so much better that I didn't want to get up. That's a big thing.
Well,
for me.
Maybe you need that, though. Like, what time did you go to sleep?
Well, I was tweeting. I did some epic tweets last night. I tweeted that the new episode of our show is coming out.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of that?
I thought it was a classic.
Well, you had the best tweet of the Sunday, though.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I thought this won the day for me was when Susanna Huffs tweeted that Saturday is actually her fun day, which I thought was a very funny tweet.
Uh-huh.
And then you said, so it's your I don't have to rhyme day.
Yes, I did.
That was very... Were you just mouthing the words to see if I got them right? I think you were.
I might have been. It wasn't a conscious thing.
But it's just, how could you trust me with the delivery of your jokes?
Yeah, it was a fragile little egg.
So that was so good. I like that a lot. It's my I don't have to rhyme day. I don't know. These things happen and I go, oh my God, there's Josh Elvis Weinstein, who's a personal friend of mine. He's hanging out with the amazing Susanna. They're probably shopping somewhere today together.
Sure.
They're like at IKEA.
Tweeting to one another as we walk.
And Allison and you guys, I don't know where you all go, where everyone goes to do FOMO stuff over the weekend.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a big party going on.
I went to the grocery store near your house. No, I actually went to Gelson's.
Oh, why was I going to artificially say something about that? Oh, did you?
Just to elevate the FOMO.
Have you ever tried? I know you're not going to try them because you don't need to try them. But the everything bagels, the Brooklyn bagels, do yourself a favor and try. I mean, it's just the greatest bagel. I haven't had it in a while, though.
Well, I don't.
You know why?
I don't like everything bagels.
Let me just finish. That's the kind of bagel they shouldn't be making. And why they're making it, I don't know why they're making it. They should make a nice frozen bagel with a plain bagel.
No, I don't. I'm not saying plain. I'm just not saying plain. Mr. Black and White. Mr. Black and White. It's either everything or nothing with you.
I thought that was a cookie.
What?
Black and white cookie.
It is. And I'm sure it's either terrible or the best thing ever to you.
I never was a huge fan of Jewish pastries, but they can be great.
Yeah, it's all in the hands of the user, really.
Yeah, but my mom wasn't a big Jewish... Well, when she converted to Quakerism, then it was, don't go in the kitchen on Saturday. She's going to be baking. My mother couldn't cook if you gave her the recipe.
Yeah.
You brought a chef into the kitchen with her.
My mom wasn't my mom could get a meal on the table, but she resented it and you could taste it.
That's just terrible. She resented it and you could taste it?
Absolutely.
See, my dad was a pretty...
I absolutely believe that the taste of food you can taste intent in food.
You have what?
You can taste intent. That's why, Allison doesn't cook in our house, because you can taste the intent all over the place.
Well, my father was the better of the cook between my mother and my father. We were the only person.
My father acted like he was the better cook of the two, because he would make something like once a month and act like he was, Escoffier himself.
Well, so you're saying your mother my mom really didn't do that. She wasn't available for mother. Well, that's like, why should that be motherly things?
Both my parents worked full time.
My mom didn't.
So, so there was like the extra thing of like, I'm working just as hard, but I have to do this shit sort of.
My mom was sad.
But we went out a lot. We went out to eat dinner a fair amount, I would say.
Oh my God. That's the childhood I wanted. Why didn't we go out to dinner more?
We did a lot of quick bites out, especially as we got older.
Is that where you learned, is that where you discovered all your favorite mini soda places, like the barbecue place, and is that what it was?
No, those weren't part of our routine going out. Like,
did you have a steakhouse?
Like there was we didn't do steakhouses. There was Mr. Steak, literally Mr. Steak, and we would go there occasionally. But like when Wendy's opened with the salad bar, that was like, we might do that a couple times a month.
Yeah, I'm so much older than you. I do remember like the first McDonald's.
Like my dad didn't like chicken either. That was a big game my mom would play. He
never liked chicken in general?
He just didn't like chicken very much now. So my mom would put chicken out to defrost on the counter. And my dad would come home and go, maybe we should go out tonight. And I'm pretty sure my mom would then put the chicken back in the freezer and then use it again.
Oh God, how did you not die?
It could have been a 5-year chicken. I'm not sure.
Does she know now? Would she have known now?
Did you just ask how did my father not die?
Yeah, I may not have asked it just like that, but
by 52, you mean? Was 52 too late?
But he could have lived to 54, 55 if your mom didn't.
Had he just eaten a little better.
No, if your mom, you're not supposed to defrost chicken on the. But in those days, they didn't know that.
Yeah, and like I said, it never really got fully defrosted. She didn't need it to.
It was. So your mom and your dad both didn't want your mom to cook. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yes, I think that's absolutely true. It wasn't. I don't mean to cartoonize her. She was okay, but
Well, I just think that whenever you watch TV and there's a reality show and they show the parents, they're always doing stereotypical parent things. How's your food? You enjoying your blanket?
Yeah.
I did not have that as a kid. I had... God almighty. Am I sleeping during the fucking show? What the fuck is this? What is this?
You should not have said blanket. It was a trigger, apparently.
It's just ridiculous. Why am I still going on this one topic that I had nothing on to begin with? All right, I got something new though. I thought Trevor Noah did a good job. I thought he was okay.
Yeah, I thought he was fine. I mean, I didn't think there was genius jokes, but they were all, there was a lot of solid
there were
jokes.
no genius.
And I thought his little lecture at the end was good.
Yeah, the lecture was good at the end.
You can imagine a room full of fucking White House reporters going, yeah, please tell me more, comic boy, but,
well, they are a horrible crowd. Well, let's not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
What a terrible, terrible crowd. Because they're not that on your side. If you start going down, they love that.
Sure.
They love for the comic to go down.
That's their whole raison d'etre is to see someone at a mic go down in flames.
And Biden, Obama, since he's my hero, he was the best. He gave the best.
He had the best comic timing for sure.
But Biden does not have great
He had the best. Obama knew how to use his persona.
Right.
As part of the laugh.
Right. Joe is a good sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not looking to Joe for great.
Well, I mean, the thing that's good, the thing I find self-awareness to be like the most endearing human quality, pretty much.
Right.
So that forum is, you're always going to look pretty good as a president to me in that forum if you're making jokes,
Yes. Which is why Trump was so good, because he was so
good at self-deprecation. It is almost like the the good quality of Trump, the self-awareness to go, I can't go to that event.
Well, he would.
I could not sit there and be skewered for an evening.
Is that one of the highlights of his administration, would you say?
That he didn't go?
That he didn't go?
I think so. I think it was probably the peak self-awareness.
And well, who else was there? Was other speech? No, there were no others.
I didn't watch the event. I just saw all the
I actually saw the event for once.
Yeah.
Because I figured I'll watch anything where Trump is not involved anymore. It's just like it's like a big holiday.
Yeah.
Remember when he would poison this? Remember when he would poison that? That type of thing.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I cannot get Elon. I know that you're going to say. Why do I know? I don't know what you're going to say.
I doubt you do.
I doubt. But my feeling is that you say something like, "Look, it doesn't matter who owns Twitter, and Twitter stinks anyway. So we'll just swing with it as it goes." I think this is a terrible development that makes me want to think I have to start preparing to get off of Twitter. Or how are you going to promote things? Well, what do I have to promote, first of all?
All right. Yeah, I don't know.
I really don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm, I'm tensed for what's to come, but I don't,
Did you see his diagram he wrote?
Yes.
So he thinks being the worst thing is when a guy on the left who tells someone who's a bigot that they're a bigot. That's the worst.
Right.
That's what destroyed him.
Well, but I'm convinced that is, in some ways, that's
the whole thing,
the whole cultural divide right now. Like, I really believe that there's just a segment who is like, they're going to call me a bigot, so fuck it.
Yeah. And woke.
And
Did you ever think that
I
would
totally
be a thing?
believe that's like, I think I said this the other day. I totally believe that's the whole basis for this everyone's a child molester thing, because it's the only thing you can call someone worse than a racist, and they believe everyone is going to call them a racist.
I just never remember the opposition, the evil opposition being this evil.
Well, it's not. It never has been, really.
No.
I mean, it's never.
Off the charts.
But it's just, it's a unique situation with, I mean, it's not unique anymore, but, it's unique compared to other situations in history because there's social media. It's like you didn't know anyone's political views most of the time.
That's true. That is so true.
It's like I wrote this yesterday. It's like before social media, you would talk to a stranger and you would almost never get to the reason why you hate them, And now it's in their fucking profile,
Right.
Now you can hate them before you see a word they say.
Oh, God. And I don't know if they're not bots. These are just willing idiots. A lot of these people, right? Well, some of them might be. Who knows?
There's just way too many people willing to turn over their personalities to other people these days.
Yeah. And also the anonymity part.
Yeah.
I like somebody said, why don't you, something about the anonymity, and he goes, well, some people, anonymity is very, authentication is very important, but so is anonymity. I mean, what's this guy, a politician now? Right. It's like, he really is the worst. I think it's really something about, I really do think he's a bad guy, although I think he made a nice car or something. People used to somewhat admire him because he was an eccentric, right? Oh, that guy who did the Tesla.
Well, you can admire someone's accomplishments without admiring them, kind of, too, I think.
I feel like Henry Ford, right?
I think that's a very good analogy of a terrible person who did something important.
Right.
But it's incredibly impressive to have started a car company. That legitimately competes, and it's incredibly impressive to start an aerospace company that dominates
Flies
the field.
Space.
From having nothing. I'm not saying he had nothing as a individually, but he didn't take over a space company. He built one.
Yeah.
So it's fucking impressive, but he's still king of the douches. He's just
such a douchebag.
He's just such an insecure little man.
I think he wants to be funny, though, right? Isn't that he wants to be funny?
Wants to be funny, and he clearly wants to be loved by whoever. But
like the cool kids, as long as they don't turn on him.
He just wants to have people standing for him. But
also the other side of him is he's so unpleasant. Like he called some guy like he's called a guy a faggot or something. I don't know if he called him a faggot, but he does insult people too. It's not like he's.
You do too, and you're not a bad person.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. How could that get to me? I'm not buying it.
Yeah, but when you're in conflict with someone online, you aren't polite about it.
That's not my best side. Who am I talking to again? Yeah. No, I understand that. I understand that. I'm not as Jesus-like as I would like my image to be.
I didn't mean to make it a referendum on you, but I'm saying that,
Yeah, but I'm against bigotry. That's the difference.
Yes, you are. You've taken a stand, and I admire.
I've taken a stand.
I admire your position, if not your representation of your position.
That's true. Thank you. Well, I think I've also moderated. Sometimes people get on my nerves, but I've moderated my online behavior. I'm a wonderful, wonderful person who's doing a really good job at
but no one would want to see you on Twitter.
No one would want to what?
See you on Twitter, much like we don't want to see a lot of
on Twitter. I think he said on Twitter.
No. Well, that's a whole separate matter.
It's just ridiculous. I want to, okay, maybe so he thinks of these things. Well, I do think he's a guy who absolutely believes his own press. I mean, how could he not be the biggest genius of all time? Right. That's what he thinks. So whatever he's one of these people, whatever comes to their head, they think I'm a genius in every way, shape, or form.
Well, he's pretty much above ramifications for most behavior at this point.
Yeah, it's true. Trying to think of someone like him. I love when people crash and burn. Like,
or rather, above gives it a little too much. Beyond ramifications, I would say.
Yes, although you get the feeling that his whole thing could come crashing down because he's so. I don't know. I have nothing. I'm done. I'm done because I realized I have nothing more to criticize him about. I don't like him.
I don't like him either. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, no. I don't think you're arguing the other side.
But, you know me, Mr. Gray.
I think your non-black and white view of the universe is actually more sane than my you're a bad person. You're also a bad person. You're a Nazi. You like Nazis. You're probably Hitler himself. You look like Goebbels. Thank you, Goebbels. Thank you, Himmler. What are you, Himmler? I have a reverie. I got a reverie going there. Well, I do think that we're one of the beacons of light through this whole disgusting darkness. Actually, I don't know why I'm portraying. Things are looking up. Are they looking up?
No, but your intonation went up.
I mean, Russia's going to lose the war is what I hope. And I hope nobody ever says any more about how we're making up that Russia's evil. Okay, because I don't think we made it up this time.
Right. I think that's true.
How did he go? I used to think Putin, at least he doesn't say stuff. So he's just brooding in the background. He went from zero to an idiot, to like a Trump level moron.
He went from zero?
Well, he went from people thought he was he went from he's a genius tactician. You never know what he's thinking. He's one step ahead. He's playing chess and Trump is throwing mud around the court. But he's not. He didn't turn out to be a great tactician.
Well, he was when it came to Trump.
Yeah, but I think that's.
But I don't. But but he's.
If you could master Trump, you don't get.
He's been a. It wasn't like during the Trump administration, Putin became a problem. Putin's been a problem. Putin invaded Crimea in 2013.
Well, not only that.
I think.
Yeah, well, that. Well, he also did terrible
he's been
things.
Poisoning and killing people throughout his. Yeah.
That seems to be like. That's what he's been doing. He started it out in where'd they go in there?
Don't you remember at the beginning of the Trump? Putin's a killer.
No, but
hey, we're all killers. Your mom probably killed 4 guys for the CIA. Come on.
That's the thing that I can't even believe that this guy he even goes on to the next day without being roundly rejected by everybody. He said that Putin was genius because that's all. He's going to get a couple of sanctions and he gets a whole country. And then that guy, Mike, who was that guy, Mike, who used to be the Secretary of State? The worst.
Pompeo.
He says, what's that?
Pompeo.
Yeah. He says, 3 weeks ago, before the war started, I feel that Putin's one of the most elegant people I've met. He's an elegant man. He's a genius. I'm not making it up. He went on and on and on. How come those people aren't permanently affected by this? It seems like the old days, there was more justice in the world. Like back in the day.
They live in a world where leaning towards a white authoritarian is always going to be a winning move.
I was one of the first early adopters on how horrible this J.D. Vance was. Okay. Way back.
Sure.
When people were thinking that he was using the word.
You called it a hillbilly eulogy.
But he, talk about a guy, won't he do? He would, I don't know what he wouldn't do to win.
You know what
now.
he is, Andy? Craven.
How can you pull that one out again? Did you see me go after Gibney?
I did not, no.
I went after Gibney again last week.
Jesus. Please
Doesn't matter.
Don't ruin me in the documentary community, Andy.
You don't want to know. You want to be one of them. He's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. I've gone after people who are good people. He's not. Why, Andy? Because he called Obama Craven is exactly why.
Yes.
He's on my shit list. Okay, I'm bored by my own narrow-mindedness. I find my own narrow-mindedness tiring.
It's time to move on to your bucket shit list.
I have cleared the list of grudge. I don't feel any grudges recently.
Really?
Yeah.
So
really,
have people not been saying names around you?
Oh, I don't. What am I talking about? I've been hating Elon Musk with white heat.
But that's not a grudge.
No. A grudge would be.
He would have to have responded to you on Twitter for it to be a grudge.
Yeah. No. I'm still holding. I would be lying if I said that. No, I'm trying to get past the grudges.
To revenge?
Yeah, I want to move it up. I want to step it up a little bit. If I can't make people who I don't like a little frightened to open their mail, how's that bad? No, I do believe that do you feel in your life that you've gotten less? Of course you have. You've gotten less mad at someone you were mad at. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't look at me like it's you don't have a problem with me, do you?
Screen.
No, like you've had a problem with me or something. You've had no problems with me. I'm a perfect person.
No, you didn't ask. You didn't ask that. I'm less angry at you.
No, but
my wiring is such that I find anger debilitating. I really do. And I find, so I always look for a way to shed it as quickly as possible. And there's only a few grudges, I can still get mad about Jim Mallon, who's the Mystery Science Theater dude.
Oh, yeah.
I can still work up a little froth about him. Not like I used to at all. Not even close. But,
right.
But if I were to spend a couple minutes just thinking about the situation and the snotty little piece of shit things that he said, then I would,
So there was a time period where you were more like me.
Well, I was a young comic.
Yeah. I think the more that what I'm trying to get past, like in therapy and stuff, is.
But the other thing is, I just want to say one thing is,
sure.
The thing I think one of the things about being teen comic was that because I had such a unique situation, I think I was less prone to comparing mine to others.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. Well,
like I had 5 years of not worrying about really if it was my living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I had to make enough to pay my Minnesota rent. But
it was kind of a golden time period.
But it wasn't like I had a family to feed or I had, because I was 19.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
So I could operate with slightly lower stakes, I feel like.
Most of the stuff I want to get past is shame. That's like, I think about a thing that happened and then because of the disease I have, which I can't lock it. Like if I see certain people, like I told you this before. If I see somebody, I'll remember the fight we had 15 years ago. So it's just never going to go away.
That's weird how diabetes does that to you, though. Oh, different disease. I'm sorry. Okay.
So the idea being that the part of the disease makes it easy to identify every grudge, because when you're obsessing and compulsing, you really do a good job with all that kind of stuff.
And I have part of that. I would still see, if I had a fight with somebody 15 years ago, that fight would still occur to me if I saw them. But I don't. But I wouldn't tap into the anger again, probably.
Right. Well, that's where I'm going to. That's where I'm hoping to go.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't have anger. Like, I never had anger at people like, well, not at Carrot Top, but I did have anger at people. I don't think I have anger at Jay Leno anymore. I really don't. I don't think of him and get angry. It's more like fun. But he wasn't really.
But you never had any kind of personal.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't.
You were shooting at him from afar.
Yeah. So who would be? That would be more like. It'd be Louis C.K. would be an example of someone who people were angry when I went. You know what I mean? Like where you stir up things by going after him.
Yeah, where there would be pushback.
Yeah, there's pushback. Yeah. Boy, did I back the right horse though.
There weren't a lot of Belushi stands.
Yeah. And even Belushi, Belushi, something about him is creepy. But,
was it that he replaced his dead brother in the public consciousness without ever earning that spot?
He's gotten worse over the years. Like he was in a couple of movies like Salvador.
He hasn't gotten worse over the years. He quit show business and he makes pot now. How could that be worse?
Yeah, it should be a happy ending for him now, right?
I hope so. I never wished him anything but, he lost his brother, for God's sakes.
Let's not ascribe voodoo like activity to me. But he wasn't the enemy comedically, like say over the years Dane Cook was.
Right. Yeah. No, he wasn't cheapening our profession.
He was just one of the examples.
Because he was in sitcoms. He would have been if he was a stand-up, but.
Oh yeah.
But sitcoms were pre-cheapened.
Right, and he also came from the improv comedy world, maybe. I don't know why that made me laugh.
Well, it did more than the improv comedy world would.
I mean, just thinking in my mind how, in a way, you can be. I am not as good at improv comedy as I am at regular comedy.
You almost couldn't improv your way through that sentence.
But I think that improv comedy, you can get to a certain level of banter where it's acceptable, but it still doesn't mean it's funny.
Yes, and it's not very entertaining.
Right, and also, isn't it fun? See, I can't do that. Yeah. I'm never good at agreeing anyway, so why would it help me?
Let's warm up a little game of scornball.
I mean, I am not in any level at all. I love people who, to me, there was nobody funnier than Fred Willard, but as Fred Willard would point out, when he would do his improv, he preferred doing improv like as an actual rehearsal tool, but not turning it into a stage show.
Right.
So, which I generally agree with.
I just had lunch last week with Fred Willard's publicist.
I forgot what's his name?
Glenn Schwartz.
Oh, Glenn, that's right. I used to know him so well. How's he doing?
He's doing okay, except for except for in the last year, it was Fred Willard, Louis Anderson, Gilbert Gottfried all went down, all his clients.
Oh.
Which is why I called him, because it was like I saw his name in the second obituary in like a month. I was like, sorry about your year.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a lot of death. That's a lot of death with one person. That's sad.
This is what happens when you run the Altacocker agency.
Hope nothing happens to Skip Stevenson Why did I go after
Why?
him? Come on,
Especially
man. Is
since
there a
he's
reason?
been dead for 25 years.
Didn't you think that Yakov would make a kind of a comeback now?
Maybe, except he's kind of on the wrong side.
No, he is?
In Russia,
Wait. No, he's anti-Russia, isn't he?
sure, but he's Russian.
Well, you're not talking about. Why would you suggest an internment camp for him? That's just terrible.
He's in Branson. That's pretty fucking close.
It's just like prison. The only thing it's missing is the ankle monitors.
The only thing, except there's fewer shows at the fucking internment camp.
Actually, I prefer the internment camp because he wasn't forced to perform or something like that.
There's no 10 a.m. show at the fucking internment camp.
I think the Yakov What a Country cruise must have been good when it first. You know what I mean?
Sure.
When he was at the top of his game, and people were saying, "What
on Russian cruise, buffet goes to you."
And if you go on Russian cruise, chances are you'll get poisoned. What is that? Chinese voice?
I don't know what you're doing.
On Russian cruise, food poisons you because there's a high level of poisoned food.
Is that Mickey Rooney and Breakfast at Tiffany's you're doing?
If you go to Putin's house, I recommend the poison special. What a situation.
And you're not bad at you're bad at improv, please.
Go ahead, give me a situation. Okay, now give me a verb with it.
Uh-huh.
Now give me an intent. Give me what's my secret intention?
Uh-huh.
And now go ahead. You're a Martian and you only speak in consonants, but you're also gay. Go. I did a swishy gay guy who only talks
with only consonants. Yes.
Oh, we have fun not on this show, but on other things.
Yeah, we lay the groundwork for fun.
Oh man, we were all over a Krasnick show came out.
Oh yeah,
it was a big weekend for us.
Did you listen to that?
No, I have not listened to that yet. Have you?
No, of course not.
I very rarely. I listened to myself with Jen Kirkman.
Yeah.
But I thought that Ed Krasnick's his advertisement was hilarious. I forgot what he was advertising.
Yeah, he actually did some writing up front.
He always does write. Ed Krasnick always does writing, but he also does a lot for forgetting what he wrote.
Yeah.
And then he also does I'm not going to lock it down.
Yeah.
He always is. He's tinkering. He's a tinkerer to the last minute.
But it all ends up there on screen.
We're like two people who are just generally tired.
There's a little bit of a talking to talk element to our conversation today.
You said that so gentlemanly. What is it? Do you think I have is it a cancer cough?
Hilarious.
I don't think the pot's making me cough. The thing is, my therapist says, boy, oh boy, I've never seen anybody who has such a good relationship to marijuana, a very healthy relationship. Like she asked me last week, she goes, "Are you still smoking a lot, like during podcasts and stuff and such?"
Yeah,
you betcha.
Okay,
you can count on it.
At least you're getting past your lying problem. That's good.
No, I haven't been high on this podcast. I haven't been able to blame highness. Did I tell you I did a podcast where I was being interviewed and I completely kind of had a panic attack?
Really? No,
because
no, Your Highness.
I said to her, it was a good interview, kind of, but I said, uh-oh. I had forgotten that I had mistimed some gummies. I said, I think I mistimed some gummies.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least you played an open hand.
And then I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
That I was losing my place.
Yeah.
So there really is no reason.
What podcast was that?
It was a podcast, my friend Ina, who's really great. at nice mangoes, and she has polite conversations. She's she used to be a Sam Harris person who liked Sam Harris, and then she kind of like saw the light and tried to interview him and all that kind of stuff. So she was very nice because she's young. Everyone's younger than me,
sure.
And everyone's smoking pot. So it's like, I'm not talking to the man.
Right. No, it wasn't like
if I was interviewing
wasn't like you
Stephen
outed
Miller.
yourself in a police interrogation.
I should never. But my question to you is like, aren't the gummies should be for when I'm not already engaged?
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Yeah. But other than that, I think I'm doing such a great job as a person. I just don't know how I do it in many ways.
Well, I think probably staying in helps you.
You think 95% is showing up and 4% is
in your case,
rigged.
95% is staying home.
I have to say though, this JD, we don't have to talk about it. This JD Vance is the lowest of the low. I don't think I've seen anybody lower than him.
No.
When you go,
No, he is in fact Craven.
he is claiming, what was they claiming yesterday? That immigrants are bringing in, I forgot what it was, just the worst arguments. They always go with the people are coming across the border. It's not changed, the Republican talking much, but I couldn't believe went, no, why can't it, what is it that I can't believe?
I don't know.
There's no money in them not lying, and is what they think.
Right.
They're just waiting around to see if people still like Trump, right? Like if they turned against Trump, they would turn against Trump.
100%, yeah.
I don't know why. I feel
Because
like
they were all vehemently against Trump, and they turned towards Trump. Why would they not turn against Trump?
I think I'm being naive, but I don't remember it ever being this blatant where people just like.
No, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. And I think that's why, I wake up hating humanity most days, is because everything is so fucking bald-faced.
Yes.
There's no subterfuge anymore. It's all there for you to see. And you just go, I guess 100 IQ points isn't enough for this modern world. It's just not enough.
Yeah, it's well, no, I think because of the whole, we've never lived through a time period where the whole world was could be fooled. Like everyone's.
Yeah,
like,
but it's such a, I guess what's so surprising is how fucking primal everyone is still, how it's all about just fear and hate and, it's just like it's all, so much of it is just so vicious in its basic character,
Is that because of the technology, you think, or?
I think it's part of it. Like I said, I just think that, people's first instinct is, why do I hate you?
Yeah.
Look for the hate point.
And just the idea that you can know so much about people and that there's so much in immediacy with everything, like it's got to cause so much more problems, from news stories to just jumping the gun all the time.
Yeah, I'm having such a hard time just trying to figure out like what's interesting to talk about, because I'm doing stand-up next week, and
oh, that's right. And when do you go?
I go a week from tomorrow. I go Tuesday of next week.
Folks, we need you to come out there to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm here this week.
Why would you go out to Minnesota?
You don't have to leave your city. But if you're in Minneapolis or St. Paul,
that's what I meant to say.
Please come to Acme this week.
Do you know who you're working with?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Hopefully not an old white guy.
That's me. Yeah, could have had me. Why would a white guy open up for you? I'm not even sure what I'm saying. So, no, this is going to be like, we really haven't done stand-up.
No, I've done one set in 3 years, basically.
Although I don't think that's going to be the hardest part of it. I think the hardest part of it is that you're just not thinking of jokes every day.
No, the hardest part of it is going to be, just trying to, I've been writing a lot of shit.
Oh, good.
So,
I thought you were going to wait till the last minute like me.
The hardest part is now going through all this shit and going, what's a funny notion? What's a punchline? What's an actual punchline? Because it's real easy to walk on stage with funny notions and
But are you not going to go
leave
to?
with sort of muted response and silence.
Well, that is absolutely the one thing that probably is egalitarian and good about stand-up. It's like if you don't get the joke right, the audience will tell you.
Yes.
If you know, and I'm totally willing to admit that sometimes it's like the thing I think is funny may never live up to what you know what I'm talking about.
Well, there's two kinds of failure.
Like,
there's either you got the joke wrong, and,
right?
There's a joke there and you got it wrong, or there's not a joke there.
Right, or the joke's for two people, and I never mind when the joke's for two people.
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, then it's still a joke. But I'm.
yeah. Right.
Yeah. I always, like I say, it's a theory until the audience laughs. Then that makes it a joke.
Well, I'll give you an example of the joke where I could never get this. Hitler was the first person to call his enemies haters.
Yeah.
I never got the wording quite right on it. So I don't know if that means I didn't work hard enough on it, or maybe it's too small an audience, or I never got but sometimes I think, I not just realized, but this is why I'm not a writer, like a writer like you.
Right.
Normally, I'm not necessarily articulate in my brain, like creating word pictures that are delightful.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't say things, but I do know that I do struggle sometimes with, and some people don't.
I think that's just because where we live is different in our heads. I live in this intellectual prison, and you live in an emotional prison.
I think that's a good. I've been watching did you watch any of the Last Czars? Maybe you did watch them.
No, I didn't.
But they were troubled people. You were saying something.
No.
Oh, just like when people are troubled. Okay, I must be having anxiety. My apologies.
The Last Czars.
What? But how did that?
Emotional prison, intellectual prison is my last volley.
Emotional prison, intellectual. I think I just started thinking about the end of civilizations and how unreasonable these people were, and I started to put myself in the position of, if I was a czar, would I say go out there and kill about 20,000 of them and then come right back here? I don't think I was cut out for it. No,
I think you need to. You can't get to a position and suddenly become ruthless.
But did you ever think of, like, it used to be, I used to think, I can do anything, and I could have, and maybe I would have enjoyed anything. But now that I know what I suffer from, I was like, I would have hated to be a doctor. That would have been the worst job for me. Andy, are you sure that he had enough IV? I'm running back to the hospital. It would have been a terrible profession for me. But as a Jew, you think you're supposed to entertain that notion of a doctor or a lawyer.
No, I've since I was a teenager known about the showbiz exception.
I wanted to be a lawyer, though, and I think I could have been a decent. So I was attracted to the courtroom part of law, like
sure.
I could persuade people. But then I just realized I just said to you that I'm not as articulate as some people are in the courtroom.
Especially when you're flustered and arguing.
No, you know what though? Like, if you've been on I once went on Politically Incorrect back in the old days. And I think I've said this before. It's like when you're on TV, you never get as upset in those situations, like when you're arguing.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, I'm on TV, so
right.
How angry am I going to get?
I'm not arguing. I'm debating.
I'm debating, and everyone's having fun, and it's good for the world.
All right.
Yeah. Part of me is now saying, why did you say to him that you're not articulate? Now people aren't going to think you're articulate. What if people are listening to the show because they think you're articulate?
I think people have made their own decisions.
Is that your nice way of saying they know you're a moron?
No.
No. Oh, no.
People made their own decisions.
No, because sometimes I think you're getting awfully close to saying that I'm technically stupid, and which is not what you should be doing.
No, if I were to say it, you wouldn't understand anyway, so.
I did a take to you and did a take to myself in the mirror that you couldn't see.
Yeah.
Now I'm comfortable. I make a nice living. I'm comfortable. I'm making a nice living. I think it's that even after 20 years of doing the podcast, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast, but no more uncomfortable than I am doing everything.
See,
else.
that's kind of my take on it. Is I think you're just being recorded.
Though, I have to say, I probably have said this before, that, like I told you a few months ago, concluding that, realizing that I'll never get the plates clean, regardless of my method, whether I put them in the dishwasher, whether I air dry them, I'll never think they're clean enough, has helped me let it go. Because I know it's one of those bubbles I can pop. No, you're never going to get, you think you're going to argue yourself to an answer.
Right.
Like, always air dry it, always this.
Right.
And you think you're going to then follow that rule and feel good. No, you're still going to feel like you may have poisoned somebody because that's a disease.
Right.
And just let it go.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Man, don't forget, you're the one who said this should be, you originally said this should be all therapy-related things.
Yeah, that was 5 fucking years ago.
I know, and I thought...
And I learned a lot about the fallacy of that theory.
Well, I wanted to...
I was like, let's talk about your therapy for this podcast that'll last 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. But you didn't see it at how it would play out. But look how well it's done.
Right.
We're still focused on me, my needs.
Yes, sure.
After all these years.
Yes. Oh, geez. Are you okay?
I'm worried about hurting the golden throat. It's okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I need to ask you several questions because it's getting to the time of the show where it could be a lull. I'd like to ask you a few questions that will make you more upset, and then winding down to where you'll hang up on me.
Okay.
What's happening with you? Here's some of the old questions from the old days. How was your weekend, Josh? How's a question like, how was your weekend? Or is anything new?
There is I'm going to physical therapy, and there is way too much, like every piece of small talk is weekend based. It's all, I go Tuesday and Friday, so Tuesday is, what'd you do this weekend? How was your weekend? And then Friday, it's always, got big plans for the weekend? What are you doing this weekend? Got a big plan?
This is not Pilates, right?
No, this is physical therapy.
Oh, this is like actual physical therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, not actual. I mean, Pilates is real. I meant like you're going to a doctor oriented thing.
Yes.
Where they have you lift with your lumbar, right? Is that what they do?
They do not.
You know what's funny? Add these hilarious bits about Josh's back and the difficulties Josh has had recovering that's hilarious stuff.
Now, tomorrow I'll be going back, and once again, he'll be using the, quote, metal scraping tool on my nerve.
Oh, my God. What is that?
It's a metal scraping tool that he uses on my nerves.
Does he put you down?
Well, no, he's trying.
Wait, is it on the outside?
Yeah, no, he's sticking his fist inside my skin.
I didn't think you could get on someone's nerves unless you actually go.
You can do it with a podcast.
But when he's like rubbing on the outside of you, how does that feel?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
No,
are you sure?
He doesn't say that constantly. How does that feel?
When he's doing that, here's my standard joke. Are you sure that he's somebody who's with the hospital? Like someone snuck in there and started rubbing your nerves?
No, and I'll just be going there. I'll make occasional, yelps of pain, and he'll stop, and I'll go, no, I just need to make the noise. You can keep going.
You have a high, I don't know if you have a high threshold of pain, but you've experienced a lot of pain.
I have a high threshold for discomfort, let's say.
Did I ever tell you about the time that they put
Just because I've developed a sort of zen about people fucking with me that I had to in order to stay
that's the
sane.
way I was when they stuck a thing in my penis. I was like, just let me know when you've reached the first obstruction. And
because I'll be leaving my body now. Please.
Hold on. One finger. You said two fingers for pain. What's going on? We're just getting by the part of your penis that we can't get by.
I did
without forcing it.
I went to the dentist last week, and I had to have a filling, and the practice has been handed over to a new dentist now. And so the old guy was like, way too much Novocaine. You know, he'd stab you 16 times for, you know, just to make sure that you weren't hurting. And it would hurt. You know, it would hurt to get all that many Novocaine shots. This guy did one, basically, and tell me if there's a problem. There was a problem. He put in another little one, and it was fine. But it was like, but I left with like basic control of my mouth as opposed to the old guy where it used to be a fucking Cosby bit for fucking 6 hours.
That sounds like an obsessive compulsive dentist, the old guy.
Well, I think he was very much selling himself on pain-free dentistry. You know, he was very much, you know, but he didn't quite realize that no, what fucking hurts is like 9 fucking injections of the needle in my gums.
Was he soft-handed?
He was gentle.
Yeah, because I told you that my dentist when I was a kid used to get a look on his face like he was trying to build a redwood deck.
Yeah, no, this guy was all about calmness.
Can I repeat my standard joke that I love to do?
Sure.
It's a bad sign if your dentist is using you for leverage. You don't want that.
All right. I can't quite tell where you're staring for approval with that.
I know.
Leverage.
I'm not making eye contact with you, even though I'm on the phone with you. And that was the whole point of continuing it where I could see you.
I cried.
It is home, but it ain't home. New York home, but it ain't mine no more. I love Neil Diamond, and I love to kind of get the heebie-jeebies from his songs.
You know, yeah, I agree.
He's like,
I would say that's enough for today.
I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hand, lose my cloud, lose my head, and if I ever lose my hand, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my leg, I won't mourn, I won't beg. And if I ever lose my leg, I won't have to walk no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my eyes, all my colors all unshine. And if I ever lose my eyes, I won't have to cry no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth all that sound. And if I ever lose my mouth, I won't have to talk. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. A moon shadow, moon shadow.
perfect, right?
Yeah.
No, you're saying that derisively to me?
No, it's perfect.
No, seriously, there's
It's
no reason to be that
perfect.
angry. Why would you be that mad at me this early?
I'm
What have I
not the
done?
least bit mad at you. I'm excited at how perfect it is.
Yeah, but you're kind of treating me as if I'm an old old. Look who's back, Josh.
Someone's in the mirror looking at you. Approvingly.
It's delightful. This guy's back.
That's right.
How come you don't give me that?
The guy who likes you in one screen, and the guy who's annoyed by you in the other. You decide which is which.
You know, I don't think I've ever looked at myself for real, though. You know,
I don't think you've looked inside.
I just want to make sure you don't mean this literally. That someone should. Okay, now what is this? What is this?
I don't know.
What is this?
I don't know.
What is
You're
it?
really fascinated with the mirror today. You're really.
No, it's not.
Why
the mirror
won't you
now.
turn away? Why won't you turn away, Narcissus?
Maybe if I do it like this. So stupid. First of all, you can't even see me that well.
No.
Hello,
I
everybody.
It was all about your view of you.
I think if I was a spaceman, an astronaut,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be very good because
Enough said.
no, there's too much like shifting around. You know, like Sully Sullenberger. He didn't say, "Hold on a second. I'm trying to get my boom stand together." He said, "No, we're going down." He goes, "I need to get clearance on the Hudson, please."
Blow me on Teterboro? Seriously? Blow me when it comes to Teterboro? We're not getting there, okay?
Well, I certainly don't think that that's the way to talk to a man.
Excuse me. Tower, blow me.
Well, listen, Breaker 19. Who's named Breaker 19?
Tower, can I talk to Teddy Bear, please?
Yes, coming back at you. Hey, look, Josh.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to call you Josh on the at the towers. But Josh, if you're gonna take off now, I think you're in the wrong runway. Hold on 1 second. Yes. Hey, what's up, Pinky? This, you know what I'm doing, right?
You were doing the distracted air traffic controller. Is that what I thought you were doing?
Yes, exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on, Josh.
Because Binky came to visit.
Hold on a second. How much? How do I know it's not stepped on? He's making cocaine deals.
Wow, okay.
That's not a good employee.
How do I know it's not stepped on? Is that something you asked coke dealers?
Yeah, you did.
What?
Stepped on meant like
Cut with baby laxative or what?
Let me tell you a little something about, and I hope I don't get too technical here, but people, not me, I watched these TV shows where people would take cocaine that was good cocaine, and then they would cut it, like, why can't I cut it up a little bit more with, why does daddy have to give up all of his weight?
Why can't I just share some of my Italian baby laxative?
And that's how it started. But very quickly, the cocaine got bad in the 80s and stuff like that. But not bad like now.
Yeah. Now
is bad with, did you have a good time? Well, I didn't die from fentanyl.
Right.
That's not fun.
No.
I'm telling you that right now.
No.
I didn't mean to bring you down either.
You kind of did. Now I'm thinking of dead kids.
Oh my God, that is some good coffee. No.
I just got back from an hour of having various electrical currents shot through my legs.
Okay, give me an up. First of all, I heard you. People don't know this because they don't know this unless you tell them.
Yeah.
I was in the chair this week. I had
on
nitrous.
death row. This was death row you were talking?
No, but very, very close.
Yeah.
I was in a dental chair.
Okay.
And I know I can tie this story together. It has to do with you guys calling me.
Oh, no, it was Jen and I were texting each other while you were at the
Well,
dentist.
I was, and I kept thinking here's how narcissistic I am.
They're talking about me.
Yeah.
And I can't respond.
Because at one point I said, I'm in the chair. And then Jen went, oh, that's nice or something.
No, I think she asked what you were having done, and then you never responded. Well,
I'm in the goddamn chair.
Well, you shouldn't have chimed in then.
For me.
You should have chimed in if you didn't want any sort of feedback.
Go find Susan in the waiting room if you need to get more of an update than I'm blitzed on nitrous.
I haven't had nitrous in 30 years.
Oh, it's so good. It was so good. You see, here's the thing. You went to a dentist who, at one point, was a dentist that all people like me sought out, as opposed to, you're not feeling pain. It's fine.
All
It's
right.
fine. You had one of these guys. I had him too. Like, right?
Yeah. Not
Okay,
really.
no,
No, I didn't.
No.
He was
I'll
much
give you
more in control. He was much more in control than that.
I'll give you more. Oh, he didn't have these fakey, because I had a guy who had fakey like, I hate to cause pain. You can't say you hate to cause pain. You
No.
have to cause less pain.
Right. But as I said, I had the dentist that went over the top.
That's
But
what I was
He
thinking
caused
about.
pain by trying to not cause pain.
I'm just thinking about,
You have no idea.
no, I'm just thinking about the fact that they didn't want to, your doctor. He was like, all he could see through was, he could not be any moment. And I appreciate that. Not one moment of uncomfortableness, but then really your jaw is hanging, your lips are hanging around like,
Yes.
for hours, right?
Yes.
Do you ever get fooled? Here's something. I don't mean to ask this way, but I have probably 7, 10, 15 times figured I can chew now.
Yeah.
Why am I? If you can't, you shouldn't fuck around with, are you lined up with your food if you can't feel it? You know what I mean? And then you're chomping.
Are you lined up with your food if you can't
With your
feel
teeth,
it?
with your teeth.
All right.
Your teeth could easily bite through my lower lip or something.
Is that what's happening? You're that out of alignment?
Oh, no. I mean, when
you're
you have
eating your own
Novocaine.
head now?
No, on Novocaine. When you're
okay.
on Novocaine.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is the great. It is so good. Can I get one of those parts?
Sure.
Like a commercial?
Yes.
The guy who can't stop. Stop it, Josh. You're killing me with it. Stop it already. Oh, God. I've noticed when I call attention to anything, it makes it worse.
It's true. I think that's a good rule of thumb.
It's not for stand-up, though. That's my signature.
Sure, absolutely. But you don't do that anymore.
Josh. Oh. Can I tell you a joke that I thought that you would like? But then I said, you know what? I'm going to make a stand-up album. And I'm not going to tell anybody these bits. I'm not going to tweet them. I'm going to keep this under wrap.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. I can't do it, Josh. If I have a joke that I think is funny, you got to be the
world
person.
deserves it.
The world deserves it. So here's a joke. It's Benito Mussolini's son was named Romano Mussolini, and he was actually a jazz musician. He was a jazz musician. What better way to hide if you're looking for some way to hide?
We're
Where
better
people
than a
won't bother
jazz
you.
club, yes.
Yeah, join a jazz combo. Now, I think it's a good joke, but it's not as good a joke as I've been like the last couple of days going, I gotta get it out. I gotta tell Josh.
Better still,
brilliant.
Argentinian jazz.
I'm writing that down. No, well, I forget it. Argentinian jazz. I don't think I always think, you're not trying to tell me next that Hitler was into jazz, because I don't
I was
believe
not going
that.
to tell you that now.
Because he was into classical
He struck
music.
me as a polka guy.
You know, here's the thing. Had I not had the bad experience with Germany,
Yeah.
you know, if
Did
they-
you or did your people?
my people,
Yeah.
had I not had the, what did you just say? And I'll get it. I'm not using my one thing. What did you just say?
You're talking about I did not have my one bad thing with Germany.
No, I'm not having my one thing where I have
Yeah.
you tell me what I just said.
Okay. But I don't remember what I said.
There's something about Germany. Oh,
I remember I mentioned my physical therapy appointment and you went straight to your dentist without asking anything about it. That's what I remember.
wait a second. Let me make a note of that. No. I meant like all of those German things are horrible, even without the Nazi association.
So you're
Just
saying
the-
you would hate German culture even without the
Probably with the
genocidal aspect of it?
Yeah, with the constant beer. Who gives a fuck about beer?
Yeah. I like a beer.
And-
I like some beer.
Yeah, but
I don't
not
like
as much.
Lederhosen so much.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to ask you. I didn't understand. I thought it. Josh, can you ding a bell or something?
Sure.
I can hear my friends.
Now I remember what happened. It was Jen. Oh. Jen was talking to you about you had the nerve thing done or she had the nerve
Right.
thing done.
Uh-huh.
And I still don't understand what that was. So I wanted to know, I know that it's not something goes inside your body.
No, it's not.
But how can you do a thing? But explain to me how you can do it from the outside of the body, and then please go on and tell me what more they had to tell you over there. Thank you. You're good. Thank you, everybody.
I don't feel like you're genuinely interested here, but
I am. I'm in so much as I'm a normal human.
well, you
'Cause
can
I think now
you can trace the path of a nerve through the skin. You know where the nerve is going. You can feel
that
it.
does
Yes.
make sense to
Yes.
me. Yes.
So,
And that's all
the
what
point
it
of
is?
it is that the nerve all along the leg or wherever the nerves are running, there can be adhesions to other things that are causing blockages in the nerves. So,
wow, okay.
So their intent is with using like the metal scraping tool or other things is to sort of clear the nerve away from anything that's blocking it in its path, and so you have to manipulate it from the outside.
Well, is metal scraping tool your guy's way of Robert Klein euphemism? Because it sounds like it'll kill you.
Yeah, no, I said you're just when he said it, I'm like, oh, you're just trying to soft sell this, aren't you? With metal scraping tool.
But I mean, it really sounds.
It's highly unpleasant, but it's somewhat effective, I'd say. Although yesterday I had to do a VO in Hollywood, and I had to walk like 2 long Hollywood blocks, and I was just fucking crippled. It was really, really discouraging.
Why can't you bring your thing?
And it makes
with
me
you?
think of airports next week going, fuck.
Oh,
And walking to the club going, fuck.
I.
Because I view the world like a 90-year-old man.
Well, here's the
Am I going to have to walk?
so far.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, but you don't like. But it's not like you have a thing against walking. You're not making a federal case out
it's
of
the
it.
searing pain that I have against
It's the
it.
searing pain.
Yes. I like it as a thing. I like walking. Used to do it a lot. I once walked from Central Park to Battery Park.
One's in Brooklyn or one's in the Bronx?
No, they're both in Manhattan.
Oh man.
Battery Park is is the very southern tip of Manhattan.
Oh, that is a long. People, you look at it and you go, I can walk there from this one end to the other. Have you seen it from above? Seems rather small.
Yes.
But then you get in there.
Zoom in.
So, what's happening? What are they going to do? What's the next step? Or you think you're getting relief? It's just a lot slower than you'd enjoy.
I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I'm really not sure anymore. I know that the pain that there after the surgery, there was like constant pain in my legs.
I didn't know that because you don't tell. You're not a complainer.
I try not to be a complainer,
but I am.
And so that has gotten better. The constant pain has gotten better. I don't have.
That's good.
I would say it's much more in the constant discomfort realm now. But
where you couldn't sleep, kind of.
Yeah,
too?
yeah, it was just all the time. But the walking thing, I don't know. I have a doctor's appointment on Monday with my other doctor, and I might see what other paths we can go down.
Oh, well, I didn't think walking would. I thought maybe a stationary bike. What am I? First of all, let's not go any further down the road of me being a doctor.
Yeah.
No, but
And thinking
yeah.
that I haven't tried fucking everything in the last 15
No,
years.
right. No, that's not my point. That's not my point. I'm not one of these people. I think I'm a little bit more woke, as the kids say, or as they don't say. Oh, you heard that guy over there? He said woke.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a very scary word to some people now.
Oh, you're one of those woke people. Now, I remember, you know Liz Winstead, right?
I do for a very long time.
I'll never forget Liz Winstead at Comedy Central, which was the Comedy Network back then. They were doing run-throughs of Politically Incorrect, and I was in one of these run-throughs. And Bill Maher was always a highly, highly unpleasant person, just oozing any way you slice it. You're not getting him on a bad day. Just any way you slice it,
Yeah.
you can
Not
feel
a
it
pleasant,
coming off
not a
of him.
pleasant man. Not a pleasant.
Not
man.
a pleasant man. So after the run-through, he says something like, well, I'm sure we'll all be using these premises for jokes this weekend, which I was not expecting, which I don't say at the end of a meeting.
Right.
Well, this was fun. I'm going to have fun taking your material.
Right.
Right. So, but Liz Winstead at one point, because they had picked up the show, or she goes, why are we even doing this? The show should be called Politically Wrong.
Yeah.
And she was right. I remember back then going, wow, that's a little harsh. She was not harsh. He has always been trying to couch, ridiculous things, and it's gotten progressively more ridiculous over the years under the guise of, you can't take it, man. Everything's politically correct. Too woke for you, buddy, or too not woke for you.
Yeah. Well, there's the extra level of grumpy old man to it now that it never really had, but 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
And just this idea, like, wouldn't you, if you tomorrow, someone say, hey, the KKK says, check out, Chunks. There's some funny fucking stuff on there. And whether you're a grand wagon, whether you're a grand dragon, or whether you're just like a laugh, check out Josh Elvis Weinstein's. I mean, wouldn't you get nervous if you have Nazis showing up to your thing? You have to get nervous that your message is maybe wrong.
You have to, or you have to embrace it like Trump and go, my people.
I was in a RT flurry yesterday because I follow Karine, who's the new press secretary, and then I've been a big fan of hers for a while. And then I started to just I got into an RT flurry, and anything that looked, so I got one too far.
Yeah.
And it was a sarcastic embrace of her, but not really even. They don't even reveal it. I think they're trying to get you. I don't know what the trick
but
is.
you missed it.
So, I missed it. So but someone caught it. They went, "Why are there quote marks around married?" Because she's married to a woman, right?
Yeah.
So then I realized. At first, I was like, "Nitpickers," and I realized, no,
No, it's a hate speech that I just retweeted.
nitpickers.
Air quoted hate speech.
So then I just, I said, apologies for that. But the thing is, I don't have the time to read everything. You know that,
I
right?
understand. Yes, you're very, very busy, man. Very busy.
When Roe v. Wade, by the way, my wife has been arrested, and my sister post-mortem and my mother have both been arrested for trying to
Pro-choice protesting?
Yeah, it's some kind of a choice thing. No,
Yeah.
trying to get an abortion at
Yeah.
a 7-Eleven or whatever.
Well, I'm on a more serious note, since you mentioned Liz Winstead, I actually am very grateful to Liz Winstead because she is the one who got me at all involved in pro-choice activism.
Oh, wow.
When I was a kid, she did these big, and as a kid, I mean 18, 19, 20. She did these.
She's my age, I believe.
I think
We're about
she's
the same
right,
age.
yeah, right around there. She did these stand up benefits in Minneapolis that me and Frank Conniff and a few others did, and I remember my mom being like really excited that I was doing these benefits, and I was glad, I was glad she was proud of me for that. And then like the day after my my father died, my mom's like, I had to have an illegal abortion in the 60s.
Oh.
And it was with my dad. They had a pregnancy that they just weren't ready for.
She told you this then?
She told me this then. Clearly, she had had a pact with my father that we would not speak of this because the second he died, she was like there with it. My mom in secret, so it's an amazing thing that she was able to keep this secret. But so she told me this, and then she told me that's why I was so proud of you doing these things. And, so it was like, it was a big moment. It was a big moment for her to get it off her chest because my mom just it was like a truth spewing machine, and so I'm, like I said, I'm grateful to Liz Winstead for putting me on that path.
And while we're talking about
it's been my support since then has been more financial than activism, I would say, and I wish that wasn't the case now, but it's not too late.
No, it's not too late. And I would say that I don't mind saying that my mother had an abortion. And in my mother's case, it was traumatic, only that she really couldn't. She had to make the decision herself about whether to have the abortion because my father was like, oh, it's up to you. Like, my father was like, it's up to you, technically it's up to you or something like that. So in that sense, she felt alone. But I just want to say this. I would say most of people I know, a high percentage of people have had some kind of procedure or plan B or whatever. And I am now at the point where I used to be like, well, I don't want to be insulting if that person has these beliefs. But now it's like, you motherfuckers, this was always going to be, oh, you're going to make it illegal and you're going to make people die again. And you don't care about people once they're born and you don't want to give them money to live. And it's over. I have no sympathy for the, maybe you didn't have that sympathy before. And I don't even know if I had that much of it.
Well, no, I mean, I've always had this weird sort of, as I've said, my disease has always been the both sides, the ability to, but.
And your strength.
Well, maybe, but, I've always been very staunch pro-choice, obviously, but I've also thought that there is an honorable way to be pro-life, certainly, if you truly believe that life begins at conception or wherever you believe it, then, there is something to defend.
Yes, you can technically.
But, I believe that is not a scientific judgment. That's a moral judgment that you're making, or a religious judgment. And it's not for you to make for other people. And, really what I object to is the conduct of the activists on that side,
Yeah. And that's the real thing is, if it didn't get paired with total, you have to carry a rape baby, they have to term, or ridiculous things. That's insanity.
Yes.
Then I think people would still be like, well, I don't agree with that person, but I'm not going to be angry with them. But I'm nothing but angry with them. They've killed doctors.
The movement has been filled with cruelty and violence. Absolutely.
And I hate to be from a college that was a town that was the birth of Operation Rescue. I went to Binghamton, and that's where Operation Rescue started with that Randall. That's not Randall Patrick McMurphy. That's from Cuckoo's Nest.
All right.
But there was that really, you would know who he is.
Yeah,
He's been around
the name,
forever.
but I can't conjure it.
Yes. And that was Binghamton.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to think when I was in Binghamton, it's like a small town, it's a college town upstate New York.
Yeah.
So I figured, it's okay that they have these extreme views. And Randall Terry is what his name was.
Right.
But now it's like, cut to now. Cut to all of our fears.
Yes.
Except I think it's going to, I know we're not a political show, but I really am excited that people will come out and vote. I think they really will come out and vote. I hated the whole time when they've been saying, every one of these pundits who says, if the election were held today, the Republicans are going to win. It's just nonsense. Why would you ever say that? What's the point of it? Now they're going, oh, we didn't know this would happen. Well, you never knew what was going to happen. I'm just saying it because I heard Chuck Todd's gone.
He is? I didn't hear that.
I heard that Chuck Todd was gone.
Nice.
Someone said the show is off.
Nice.
He's been moved to NBC News Now.
Oh, yeah?
I hope this is true. What is NBC News Now?
I assume it's their web streaming news thing.
I laugh like this when I hear. Do you think it was
Chuck Todenfreude.
Chuck Todenfreude? Do you think it had anything to do with years of this? What does he do?
Nah.
All right, Chuck. Well, here's the thing, Chuck. I think you have to look at it from two sides. Chuck.
Okay, I'm afraid we're out of time.
I said something about Katie Tur the other day, and I think a lot of people aren't fans of her either, the Katie Tur.
Yeah, she's got a real irritating thing about her.
So
like
once
you can kind of see what she'd be like at the office, and it's kind of not the person you like that much.
Yeah, because when she used to like banter with Ari, she used to try to be funny with him.
She has the vibe of a girl who grew up with lots of brothers.
Oh, Katie Tur. Oh, Katie Tur. Let's not make this about Katie Tur. I would rather make it more about Andrea Mitchell, but I'm just saying I'm getting excited now.
Really?
Maybe Andrea Mitchell's got to leave soon.
Well,
she can't.
I think she's got to leave the planet soon. Just actuarially.
Wait, isn't she 65?
Actuarially, I would say. That
Isn't she my age?
I think she's older than you.
I hope I'm not like her.
You play younger, if there's any consolation.
Oh, there's no question about it.
Yes.
There's no question about it. Oh, it's a new day. It's a new day now. People have decided that Putin's evil.
Uh-huh.
I knew the tide would turn in our favor.
Yes. Everything's coming up roses now, huh?
Well, yo, you want me to sing it? I'll do it.
Sure.
Yo, you ready? Yo,
sure.
Okay, done. Yo,
sure.
This is very funny.
Okay.
I love this bit. Yo, you ready?
Yeah,
yo,
sure.
You You'll be swell. You'll be swell. You'll be swell, 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 swell. When was that singing popular that people like that?
I don't know. Back in the days of belters. You'll be swell. You'll be great. There was your crooners and your belters.
Yeah, she could belt it out.
Yeah.
And then it gets to these things like, I don't really know who Fanny Bryce is, and I don't even know if I've seen Funny Girl.
Yeah. You'd probably know.
Fanny Bryce was a Jewish lady, right?
Yeah.
Around the turn of the century.
Yes.
And she was famous for being able to
She was a vaudeville.
balance.
She was a vaudeville comedian. She didn't do stand up, but she did funny songs.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you're talking about Mrs. Maisel now, right?
No, I'm not. She's a Borscht Belt
Have you
comedian.
She's a what?
She's Borscht Belt.
Have you seen the new season?
This is Jen's job. Don't be.
Let me finish.
Yes.
This is the kind of. Okay, I'm ready to go to the questions whenever you are, because sometimes I feel like you're ready to go.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Pickle says, a group of us are going to shoot some hoops at the park this Saturday. Would you like to join us? Is this this isn't a reference to something, is it?
No, it's just outlandish.
I know, but I have been thinking of that because on my walk every day, not every day, but every other day, I walk in that Van Nuys recreational area and I see people playing basketball.
Yeah.
Some of them run all the way to the other side of the court, which is, what is it? You filming for the pros?
All right.
Where you're rushing to. I guess remember, I could not be knocked down like I used to get knocked down. I can't do it.
What?
I can't play that kind of thing. I'm too old.
No, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
But would you play? Do you still play?
I can't walk 2 blocks
No,
in
you
Hollywood.
Yeah, but I think of you as Willis Reed.
We're playing basketball. Do I have to walk?
No, you're like Willis Reed coming in
That's
back
right.
in the
That's right.
Knicks.
I'm there to inspire. I limp out of the locker room. I play 3 minutes, and the legend
You
is
never
born.
played over. You never played the channeling thing, right? You have never played.
No.
Have you played any? I haven't. I'm asking you if you played any Hollywood.
I have not played
basketball.
any Hollywood basketball. We did used to have a comics game in Minneapolis.
Aww. Oh, I don't know.
And I was bad. I was always bad at basketball.
Well, you should have seen me play.
I understand the game more now than I did then. And I think
Yes.
I think I could do more now, but my physical skills have diminished so greatly that
Well, you understand the game better than me.
probably so.
But I've played more hoops. And see how far I've gotten?
Uh-huh.
I used to do a thing where I used to be able to run and pick up loose balls and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's a sucker's game.
You were doing the dirty work?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Gotcha. Cocaine says, Andy, it was great to hear you talk about me last week. We had some good times back then, didn't we? I think it's best we not meet up again, but I have the same pleasant memories you brought up on the show.
Cocaine is not what is it when you assign human things? Anthropomorphize.
Yeah.
Don't anthropomorphize cocaine. It's not a friend of ours who's going to say, you know what, Andy, you made the right call.
Well, you just threw anthropomorphized fentanyl on their little joke. Way to go.
I'm not laughing at fentanyl.
No, that would be cruel.
Towards fentanyl?
Yes.
How could people ever be a comedy duo? I was a comedy duo for a while.
No, you
and I
weren't.
realize
you just
now
think you were.
Well, no, it wasn't a good comedy duo. And what was I thinking?
I don't know. You were thinking, let me out. Get me out of this.
F. Jack Barker says, last week I asked about Elon Musk, but I called him Old Muskie. And Andy said that reminds him of Ed Muskie. Fun fact, I used to hang with his granddaughter. Well, got some space left here. Y'all ever go to any rodeos? What do you mean by he's got some space?
In the tweet.
Does he think you have to fill it up?
I think he did, yes.
Will you take your answer off the air? I've been to rodeos as part of the Letterman show, the Sisters Rodeo in Oregon.
So you've been to one. We've both been to one. We've been to one rodeo. So we're ready. We're ready for the next one.
Yeah, I've been to one. I feel like maybe two.
I bet it wasn't.
No, it's one.
I bet it wasn't. Why would they send you back to the rodeo?
Well, they also I did
a lot of meat left on this bone.
Well, I did the trick where you stand on two horses.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy it at all. Nothing happened, but that still didn't make it good.
No, but it's funny that you didn't get hurt with that, but Mr. Pogo Stick comes along. Doing an actual stunt. You're all good.
I don't want that pogo thing again. I'll tell you one thing. It's not going to get me.
It just made me laugh again. It just made me laugh again.
When? When did you say it?
Just thinking of it. That's all it takes.
Oh, it's a sound I'll never forget when I have that feeling of, oh, this is not good.
Right.
But the show must go on. The show must go on. Oh, my God. You know what? I did a lot. America should say thank you, kind sir, for your sacrifices, your comedic sacrifices.
I think you paid them back.
And then some.
Oh. F. Jack Barker's back to say, do either of you own an espresso machine? Looking for something in the under 200 category on Amazon. Any recommendations?
What? I just love the way F. Jack Barker thinks it's a topic that we deal with a lot. Just give me some of your under $200 machines.
Your picks.
I don't really know because I don't own an espresso machine. In the old days, Capresso seemed to be I don't know even what's a good brand in that.
Seems like under $200. You're probably best with one of those little metal percolator espresso pots.
What are those? You mean with where you put the thing in the thing? No. I don't even know what that is.
All right. Well, you'd recognize it because it's how they used to make espresso in those little pots.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But the only people I know who have espresso machines, they're like crazy expensive espresso machines.
Well, it's insane.
And they always have their the tech out to fix them too.
that's a terrible. Unless you're Phil Rosenthal, you cannot afford that.
No, unless you have a lifestyle where there's always people in and out of your house.
Well, not only that, I live not so much in fear of, but I'm like, thank God that air conditioner, the Rudd, solid. It's not going to go bad. Boom. And I think all I think about is would my air conditioner go bad?
Yeah. Are you changing the filter?
You know, I'm glad you said that because I was changing every 3 months, and I changed it, and I went 6 months on it, and I looked at it, and I was like, all right, Andy, I'll let you go this one time, but, you know, clean it up.
But 3 months is better, yeah.
Yes. And it's an excellent air conditioner, Rudd. They make a nice, I told you my Kramer's gas station, where I said, what about Goodyear? Should I get Goodyear tires? They make a nice shoe. They make a nice, so that's when I'm going to be on my deathbed. I'm going to be remembering that. I can't get it out of my head. You know, in other words, why would there be that much lingo that you'd have to call a tire a shoe? It's not a shoe. It already has a function. It's on a car.
Right.
Why do you have to make it more casual? Yeah, what kind of tire should I get for my car, Kramer? You mean like what kind of a shoe? They make a good shoe.
Yeah. I think you're making too much of a meal, is what I think.
Don't call me Boopsy says, I once saw Kenneth McMillan. Is this going to be a MacGuffin?
It seems like it's a MacGuffin.
Because I just thought today
Yes.
that I should look that up and try to remember. I tried to remember, and there was something with the show, and it would help if I listened to the show more. I once saw Kenneth McMillan and John MacGyver. There's no John MacGyver. Why come up with these fake names? I once saw Little Bo Peep. I once saw Kenneth McMillan and John MacGyver perform Macbeth. Afterwards, I was eating a McMuffin with John Mahoney, and he asked if the MacGuffin was a penguin. I gave him a mulligan and made myself a Manhattan. It's not a bit. This is not a bit. This actually happened. Wow. And I want to just say, Boopsy, I'm forever. I love when you do wordplay. It reminds me of when I used to be Groucho for online interviews.
That's right.
Andy, how long are you going to be in England for? What do you mean in England? On England? In England? What do you mean? On side of England? What do you mean?
If there's any part of your spirit that I've crushed that I feel better about, I can't think of it.
Stephen, Elton Yates, Stephen Elton Yates. Ooh, take it away, John.
Andy, if you were on the Ozempic team, would you emerge triumphant or a third pharmaceutical? Josh, cue the sting.
Ow, it's not TV. Those commercials that get me. It's not TV. Those commercials that get me.
That saves me some time on Saturday.
It's not TV. Oh, it's those commercials that get me. I'm auditioning for further stings.
That's good.
For future stings. I think of you, Josh, every time I hear them say emerge triumphant.
Yes.
Because it really is.
Oh, man. It still just, ooh, that one gets me. Ooh, that one gets me.
Hey, you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of when the Property Brothers go, using AT&T, it's safe to say we're the number one thing. Because if you go with not AT&T. If you go with ADT, safe to say. They're like making a meal out of that word. You can't, all you're drawing attention to is that you've made a stupid pun.
Yeah.
It's safe to say.
No, that's their jingle.
You can't. What does that mean? That's their jingle.
That's their jingle. Boo, boo, it's safe to say.
Okay, you're making that up, right?
No, I'm not.
There is no song that goes.
There is. Yes, there is.
That makes me sick.
That's fine.
I don't blame
I don't
you.
mind that you're sick, but I mind that you believe the truth.
I don't blame you. It's not your fault. BD West says, Josh, I enjoyed your cover of Watching the Detectives. I've been hearing about this.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I'm glad that people enjoyed it. I did. It was sort of an unconscious. It was late Saturday night, and I was like, "Oh, I got to put something in at the break," and I'll put this in, and then I forgot that it's actually someone else's song. But Alex doesn't think it's a problem.
Oh,
since it's a cover,
isn't it you singing though?
Huh? It's me. It's me doing that song. Yes.
Right. Oh, but we still have to get. Hey, Elvis is cool. You want me to talk to Elvis? He's cool. Don't worry about it. Is EC's Pump It Up in your catalog and available for Half Pod Entertainment? Andy, we need, and I mean need, another airing of Karen. A third thing?
All right. I'll put Karen in right now.
I wanted to be someone who is known for writing the greatest songs of all time, for having a voice that I liked. Karen. Don't waste your time on me. Karen. Don't waste your time on me. Can't you see? You need somebody who will help you belong. You need somebody who will help you be strong. But Karen, that person isn't me.
Yes,
Hey, Karen. Okay. I hope I die before I get old. Talking about my generation, Karen. Maybe I will get fooled a couple more times. Here is the new boss. Same as the old guy. Can't you see? You need somebody who will help you belong. You need somebody who will help you be strong. But Karen, that person isn't me.
Yes,
I love that song.
Yes,
for sure. Did you use the reggae version?
no.
But that got. No. I don't like you. Ooh, ooh. Well, I guess I didn't do a reggae version.
You just did. I like it.
BD West is back to say, Andy, isn't OCD the same thing Howie Mandel deals with? Or no deal? A third thing? BD West, I commend how quickly you got into the bit and how quickly you got out. It's the exact same thing Howie Mandel has, but he has the kind that renders you unfunny. And my condolences to him and his family. This is not something that he can control. It's a disease, people. He just can't be funny. So don't make fun of him. I like that laugh. That was a good laugh. It was like,
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that derisive. It really wasn't.
Oh, I see.
Cabbage Roll Morton says, I don't have a question. I just want more guitar teacher stories or equivalent.
I don't remember the ones that we had.
It was the girl who brought you Coke, and you
thought
you could have had sex with her, and you didn't.
Her name is Christy.
And you still regret it 40 years later.
No. I've frozen it. I freeze all of these. In my mind, all of these things that I've frozen, that I could, if I wanted to, go back to that exact moment. I just don't have the time to do it.
In my mind, I'm going to have angina. I don't know.
It's like a parody guy who's suffering early dementia. In my mind, I'm vagina down. What's the matter? Thank you, folks. This is my last tour. Why am I doing dementia jokes? It's not right.
I should have gone, in my mind, I could have had vagina, but I went with angina instead.
Can't you hear the wind blow? What? You're saying it's... Are we doing large vagina jokes?
No,
that was
you did. I wasn't.
That was his idea. I would really be doing this
and
if we record.
If you could find my keys, we'll drive out.
Do your echo vagina joke. I love it. Hello. My penis is bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than
Yes.
that.
As Rich Scheidner pointed out to me, all big vagina jokes are really just fear of small penis jokes.
That's where I like. I like when someone gives me perspective. Oh, that's so good. Tweet, blah, 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 horror. Today, Tweet for Horror says, doobie. Today, Wednesday, May 4th. Tired of not just this show, but myself down deep. Today, Wednesday, May 4th, is the 52nd anniversary of the shootings at Kent State, my alma mater. Andy, do you remember that day? You were maybe 13 and 70. I would say I don't think I remember it from that day, but it wasn't that much longer than that I was into Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. But I don't think when I was 13, I was as aware of it in my house there. I mean, no, I'm sure it was on the news.
Right. But you might not have been watching the news.
But it was definitely something once I had heard that song. I just don't think I just don't think I was aware of them that early. I think I was like
aware of Crosby, Stills and Nash?
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Or world events?
No, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I had to be around there, 71.
Yeah.
So maybe I had heard of it, and maybe I'm just a terrible storyteller. How about you?
I wasn't alive.
I know. Can you believe it? Oh, my God.
Steve Wright says, I've always loved West Nashville Grand Ballroom Gown, sung by Todd Snyder. Only recently heard the original version by Jimmy Buffett and hate it like poison. You guys got any cover songs you love way more than the originals? I'm sure I do. I don't know if I love them way more, but I think I don't know. I hate having to come up on the spot. But,
I know.
I like Stevie Wonder's "We Can Work It Out" probably more than the Beatles. I don't hate the Beatles one, certainly.
You don't hate them, no. And my mind is really I feel like first of all,
I think UB40's "Red Red Wine" is much better than Neil Diamond's "Red Red Wine."
That's a joke, right?
No, it's not. Red red wine, stay close to me. He wrote it.
Eastside 76 says one of the winning time episodes where is that the name of the show?
Winning Time is the Lakers show, yeah.
As Adam McKay, he doesn't star as one of the Lakers, does he?
He does not star as one of the Lakers.
Okay,
no.
thank you.
He could be. He might show up as Rambus later in a later season.
One of the Winning Time episodes where the Lakers played Boston for the first time, they uttered the phrase, "Big boy pants," not once, but twice. I found it highly disgusting that they didn't even mention Kevin Meaney. Rest in peace. Yeah. Well, is this a hacky thing they were doing, or is this like, who were they referencing it to? That the Lakers? Because I'll never forget how the press.
I think it was fake Chick Hearn saying it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's an anachronism certainly. But and Kevin Meaney's wasn't Big Boy Panthers. We're big pants people.
That's right. Yeah,
we're big pants people.
You're gonna knock your eye out.
You put your eye out.
You probably already have your one-eyed jokes.
I don't care. My jokes don't go over. I don't care.
He does not care. He does not care. I really miss him.
I do too.
Now it's time for you to read.
Although he took a weird, very Christian turn before he died, is my recollection. His last several years of his life, he sort of became very actively and vocally Christian, is my recollection.
I did not even know this.
I could be wrong. That happens, but I got to look into that.
I remember he had trouble once at an airport during 9/11 because they were bothering his kid, or he thought they were bothering his kid. I have to do more research and come back.
I'll go back to the Kevin Meaney file.
And now here's Eastside 76 coming back at you. 65 degrees downtown. Eastside 76 with you all day in the morning doing the Mexican hits on the 30s. The Mexican hits. And now back to Columbo. Don't plot, but I think if it were remade, Natasha Lyonne would be perfect for it. I really think she could pull it off. I agree with you on this. She has a show in development. She might be doing this for Peacock, and I think it would be great. I would love it.
They did do Lady Columbo at one point.
Right.
I hope that's not what
died.
they're remaking.
No. It would have to be like, she'd have to be like just a, her version of Columbo.
All right. And by the way, I'm glad you didn't just die there. Peruche is on fire.
Peruche, the Peruche is on fire.
Happy 5th anniversary, you savings and loan. Happy 5th anniversary, you savings and loan. You building a loan, yeah?
Is that us?
That is. It's our 5th anniversary, I think, this week.
How come we haven't been doing anything?
Because that would require me doing a bunch of work when I have to write stand-up for next week.
I'm going to look in my mirror so I can see if I can pull off. I am upset with you. Where's your head now? Get your head back in the game. Right. I'm sorry. It's not even funny on that level. Right?
No.
Dan Marsh says, hey guys, what's the... I love your agreement. Disappointment in me. No, very true. Hey guys,
that's what it is.
No, you're right, Andy. Once again, you fucked me. Hey guys, what's the best food you remember being left backstage for you at a venue? And the worst? Well, the worst is always the fucking coup d'etat or whatever they call that. That you're not going to eat raw broccoli before a show.
I disagree with that. If it's a fresh coup d'etat plate, I'm happy with that.
It's not good for my digestion. My digestion.
The worst is like Halloween candy, or
that's true. And on Easter, no, you're right.
I mean, comedy club green rooms are generally pretty bare. Sometimes there'll be like a mini fridge with waters in it. Backstage at theaters, you always have a rider in your contract of what you want backstage. So, with Cinemax Titanic, it was always deli plate, veggie plate.
That's cool.
And then beer and water and various beverages.
What was that club?
Zany's in Chicago?
No, the one in
Nashville.
Nashville just had candy all the time. It was really sickened by it. I'm sorry, the best was, you were saying?
The best, there's the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. Stands out as one of the great green rooms because they have a barista on hire.
Whoa. That is cool. Well, are we talking about, because there's two things. There's backstage food, and then best food at a comedy club was the old Luna Lounge. Had such a great menu, and they had like steak, and that was always my like. If I ever opened up a club, I would want excellent food so people can enjoy their comedy.
Right.
With a good
But would you serve it in the showroom?
Yeah, but that's probably, you shouldn't serve it in the showroom, I guess.
No, it's fucked up. I hate that shit.
There's just nothing you can do. There's no way to make it good.
No, and it really just makes you feel like you're there to sell chicken wings as a comic.
It's good for me if I'm doing poorly.
Right.
Because it's something I can reference.
You can blame. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this guy. Yeah, well, how can you eat? He has a nacho, the nachos platter.
Oh, wow. And that's how you save the show?
I'm rusty. I'm very rusty. I haven't been in the clubs. What do you want from me?
I am.
If I was in the clubs, I would be, don't go by my suggestions next week.
Yeah, if you're coming to see me this week at Acme, I'd say wait till Thursday or Friday.
I can't believe that as we're talking right now, this is what they're listening to.
Yes.
So when they hear this next Monday, you have to go out, even though this hasn't happened yet. You must go out and support Josh.
Right.
And don't mess around with. What else are you going to do? First of all, in Minneapolis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I apologize I apologize in advance for doing so much material from my album.
He says it's going to be okay. No older jokes, folks. Tom the Tom. That used to be yours, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Tom the Tom. That's what you used to do it, as if you were Bob Eubanks. Congratulations on being named the top boom stand and cocaine podcast last week. I didn't think, and I want to thank everybody over at Boom. You would think they'd come up with something more clever for the name.
Yeah, you would.
It's just all boom stand, boom. I'm Andy Kindler, boom. You got a boom stand. Some save me somehow.
Okay, Mike Parrish says, I think the guy seated next to me on my flight is wearing a pepper-scented cologne. Is that a thing? Follow-up question. If you had to choose a spice from your cabinet to use as a cologne, which would it be? As a Marylander, I would be obligated to use Old Bay. I think cinnamon. Hey. I'd have to go cinnamon just because cinnamon seems to make people happy.
Yeah, but if you go along with what he's saying, you'd be more pungent smelling.
I'd be more of a lutefisk thing if I were to go with my home state.
Or you don't want to be called. How about something like ginger or something?
Yeah, that's an answer.
Well, that's an actual answer.
Yes.
I've heard ginger spice. Yeah, Andy. Move it along, Andy. So pretty soon you can go back to sleepy pie. Seth Dick III says, Mama Dick III saw a promo for a Bob's Burgers movie in the theater and remembers that Andy is on the show. So is he in the movie? Not sure why she cares, since she hasn't seen an animated movie since The Incredible Mr. Limpet. Your Mama Dick cares more than you do, Seth Dick III. And I'm getting the sense of tone from you that you haven't been supporting my Bob's Burgers. And I'm getting very angry, Seth. You get off my phone.
Are you in the movie, Andy?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one line in the movie.
I would hope they kind of got everybody for the movie,
Yeah, they got everybody, and everybody has one line in it, and I'm very proud to be in it.
Good. Mazel tov.
Thank you. I don't know why I buried that lead.
Christopher Citro says novelist Jim Harrison wrote, when Marcia took off her sweater, she revealed a T-shirt that said, I fucked a Republican, and it was real ugly. What's written on your imaginary T-shirt right now?
Oh.
I'm with Stupid on Zoom.
What? If it wasn't for me, Josh wouldn't have anything to edit all week. What would he have to edit all week? Think about it that way. You're welcome.
I did a podcast for 5 years with some fucking moron, and all I got was this T-shirt.
It should be, I'm with dead weight. That's what it should say. I'm with Narcissismo, the great Narcissismo. Richard Cole says, hi, guys. Have a good trip to Minneapolis next week, Josh. Are you recording your sets for a More Chunks comedy album? That sounds like a bit of a sarcastic question.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm doing More Chunks, though.
Oh. So, yes, he is coming up with More Chunks.
Yes, but I'll also be doing more of Chunks.
I understand that you're going to be at the club, but what's... Ooh, I like that voice.
It is.
There's a dog in the distance.
It is. Everybody loves a dog in the distance.
Who is
Everybody thinks it's true.
Oh, is that from Paul Simon?
Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true.
What's that from?
It's from
Graceland.
Hearts and Bones.
That's a great song. I also like allergies are such an ugly word.
No.
I think I'm mixing up a couple of things there. Take it away, Halpin Fraser says, gentlemen, any favorite bits, moments from Late Night with David Letterman? Ask Mr. Melman. Almar's box of thrills, Andy Kaufman being slapped. Also, Josh, if you want, please again say, oh, Paul.
Oh, Paul.
Oh, Paul.
What's your favorite bit?
Well, everything that what's his name did was fantastic. Chris Elliott had some funny.
Yeah, Guy Under the Seats was kind of my first thought.
Yeah. I also liked Grodin when he was on there.
Yeah.
And I loved Dwight the Troubled Teen, who didn't like to read.
Yeah.
I liked everything they did.
There's now a Letterman channel on YouTube that has tons and tons of great old stuff,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
like an official Letterman channel.
Oh, I like it. Oh, I like it.
Sous Vide says, if you could teach everyone in the world one concept, what concept would have the biggest positive impact on humanity? Is that the concept you would teach, or would you teach something cool like a trick you learned to play pinball real well?
I think if I had a chance to teach everybody, I would teach everybody my system of being a genius, because I would like it to be out there for everyone to have a part of it. Why should I just benefit from being a genius? That's how I feel about it, Josh.
I would teach people the concept of Rahmanis.
I love it. I still love it. I tell people, when people say, do you have like any heavy things going on? And yeah, I learned Rahmanis, asshole. And then they go, well, I don't think doesn't sound like that's what the word means. Hey, why don't you, hey, you know what you need? Some more Rahmanis. You fucking robot. You shouldn't demand compassion that much, right?
Probably not.
John, Old Iron Pants Kilby, says, are there any recordings of Andy's talk band from the 17th century? Interesting that you should bring that up. Not for what you're thinking, but I just signed a deal with TikTok.
Huh.
I also get Snapchat and half off of a Vimeo. I also get the first 6 Vines free. Did I tell you about the deal I got?
Are you done?
Okay.
Are you done?
I also get Truth Social. Is that what it's called?
But you've been waitlisted. AJ says, far too late to get in my question about why Dave Chappelle's attacker had such a cartoonish weapon, knife gun, and if you were assassinated on stage, what weapon would you like them to use?
I would not have minded if I had to be killed. I think I would like a crazy looking knife like that.
I think, you're crazy, it's the ultimate, you're an idiot weapon. It's the ultimate bringing a knife to a gunfight weapon. Now, if you had a knife that shot.
As you talk, all I can think of is just kill me quickly or something.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go. I don't like being stabbed. I decided from all my true crime.
Allison spent actual time worrying that I would be attacked on stage next week. She spent actual brain space and time.
No, she didn't.
Absolutely 100%. She got as far as, you're not going to talk about politics, are you? What the fuck is what I said.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm now saying, because everybody, the Thought Spiral listeners, we were going to SWAT you this week. That was the first thing we were going to do.
Right.
We're going to SWAT you on Tuesday, early in the week.
Right.
And around 7:30, find out the hotel around 7:30ish. SWAT it. So why are you late? I have to admit, Josh, we did it. You dog, you.
Hey, if you want to support this madness, go to buymeacoffee.com and /Thought Spiral and kick on in.
Oh, I love this. If you want to support this bad boy, he's going to be up with the Acme Comedy Club and Minneapolis. Come on, get your seats. Don't forget, early show, non-smoking show on Thursday, kids show.
One great development, one post-pandemic development that's fantastic at Acme is the weekend shows are now 7 and 9:30 instead of 8 and 10:30, and that hour is that getting that hour back from the audience's awakeness is gold. It's gold because Minnesota audiences hit the fucking wall at 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
And they politely,
Yes.
But they, I just feel that you may not think this is a big thing for me, but you're a Martian and you only speak in consonants, but you're also gay.